This is my Surly Moonlander fat bike that I converted to a front wheel e-bike using a conversion kit from ebikebc.com. I was going up the rock face on my Norco 29er full suspension, and we all have those days. That's me under the bike. The back tire was muddy. First day on my fat bike with e-motor, I came out of the woods with a bear in my basket and streamers in my handlebars to surprise my friends. They wouldn't let me ride with them. I had to take the basket and the bear and the streamers off. Okay, enough about me. The conversion kit came nicely packaged with styrofoam and everything else in it, and in a box that rather impressed again. So they've got brownie points again. Okay, this is a Surly Moonlander with an e-bike BC 500 watt motor on the front. I've made a few modifications. The nice thing about this is the front fork is metallic, it's steel. Okay, I've made a bracket down here so when I fall over in the woods I don't take out the motor wiring. The motor is using the same brake and adjustment as the regular wheel that comes with the bike. So I can swap out the front wheel just by loosening off one nut. If you can see it right in there, I can loosen out the outside nut and the wheel will drop right out. Disconnect the power connector there. Just pull her apart, and tire that comes with the fat bike, and it just, same thing, loosened off. You can see this scrap, and just shoves right into the same fork. So in a matter of probably 2 or 3 minutes, I can completely remove the front wheel and replace it with the regular wheel, and leave all the rest of the bracketry on the bike. So that bag underneath the seat controls the controller and all the excess wires that were left over when you put everything together, the extra length. So I shall shut off the battery, and while I've got this stuff set up, the battery, if you turn it like that, and if I don't knock it over, you grab it and you pull it off that easy, put it back on. This is all one-handed, so it's a little bit harder. Put it on, shove her down, lock it up, pull the key, and you can't take it off. There's a pin that goes down into the carrier. I put a little dot so I know exactly where it is locked and where it's not locked, because I was getting confused as to what was up and what was down. The way it's got it fastened to it is this was a bracket here that I got from my GPS, one I had broken. This is a piece of a puck I cut to push it out far enough to make sure that it picked up the signal. And in between the bracket back here and the puck here, I put a screw down. I cut a little hole in the puck and put a screw down so that I have something to tie the actual pickup to. So this pickup is tied around this screw, top and bottom. The rest of it is just to put the pickup in the right position. So that was a little bit of a trick. I love the bike. I can take the front wheel off, oh yeah, because I've used the water bottle holder to put the battery on. I have also, because of all the attachment points on this bike, put a water bottle holder on the front fork. Makes it kind of neat. So what I've done is wired everything, put some quick releases on the bike. Wish I had black, but I don't, up here. And they come over, comes down and goes into the cable. The second one is the automatic pickup with a magnetic little disc here so that this reed switch, magnetic switch, cuts off. It's on when the magnet's near it, and it's off when you pull the magnet away from it. So it shuts the motor off if you just pull the brake. You don't have to apply the brake, you just pull it away from there a bit and the motor stops. Or you stop pedaling and the motor will stop. Okay, one of the other things I did on the bike, because I had no convenient place to put this magnet. It's a round magnet. Okay, and there's no way to conveniently put that magnet on the handlebars and attach it where I wanted it to turn this reed switch off here. So what I did, and I'll show you a little bit later on another magnet, is I put a tie wrap up through the middle hole in a loop, and another one through it, and then tied it around the handlebars. And the reed switch, I used the glue that came with it to glue it onto the handle, or onto the brake controller. And what I did is added a little bit of silicone glue along the edge so it wouldn't rattle free, and it's been working really well. That's where it's on, it's in there far enough to turn on the reed switch, that magnet. That far out, it turns it off. That's brakes. This is where you can see, hope you can see. Okay, that's the throttle, where the throttle goes. So I put it on this side so I could push up to get it to go. The controller, or the feedback system here, sits right on the handlebars, aim down, as does this aim down, and misses the ground if it happens to tip it upside down to change front tire. This baby here, turn on the power here. Power lights on, yep. And turn this thing on. I was just out riding a little bit ago. This here is your battery, high and low, so this is a full battery, or something better than 80%, I think is the way it reads. This is how much pedal assist you get when you're pedaling. Little bit, number 5 is a lot. You can step through it and get a lot or a little on the go. This turns it on and off right here. And this one, if you hold it, this button right here, 6 kilometers per hour, the front wheel, in this case my front wheel, usually the back wheel, will propel you along at about 6 kilometers an hour. Never used it. I know it works, but I've never really used it. One of the few motors, small as it is, you can pick it up and it just spins. Right? Look at that. Free spinning, no drag. Very few bikes have that with a motor on it. Usually they drag. If you go backwards, you can hear it. This side, I put an extra little bracket on the end, just a thick metal bracket I bent. It has a square hole in it basically, and that's to protect the wiring coming out in that rubber protector. So I gave it an extra level of protection by putting that on there. Okay, here's a neat little accessory for those people who are just taking and making an e-bike for the sake of going to work, going to the grocery store or not. I found this basket. It's at a place called Bushtaka in Ottawa, Ontario. It's kind of a neat. It was on sale for I think $16, which is unbelievable for the amount of work in it. It's got a back bracket. These parts here hook onto the handlebar. Just hook them onto the handlebar. This part back here, which is Velcro, leans against the front tube, okay, of the bike, and you just Velcro it around to hold it. So this bracket ends up fitting onto the front of the bike very nicely. The nice thing about this, if you look at these little parts, as I lift this, they go up and down. As you lift this, they go up and down. Okay, from this view, as you lift it, they go up and down. When you lift them straight up, they can go through those holes. When they're down, they can't. So I take this, I'm going to step on this bottom bracket so I can do it. You can see them going up and down. So when I take these two, put them up, I can now pull it out and off. On the bottom, you can see a hole there and a hole there. Fit on those two forks on the bottom. So if this stays, the part my foot's on stays on the bike, you hardly see it. You push this down after you come out from the grocery store or whatever you're doing. Push it in here and just drop the handles. That thing is now fixed to the bracket. Kind of neat. I really liked it. 16 bucks, how can you go wrong? The only problem with putting this basket on the front of your bike, okay, is you look like an old granny riding along the street with her little basket with the chihuahua or a cat sitting in it, or a few groceries coming home. What do I use it for? I thought I'd use it for going to the grocery store, but actually I use it to carry a battery charger to go help a friend of mine start his car. Kind of neat. Oh yeah, here's another goodie. I picked up this pump for $3 at the dollar store. It's actually kind of neat. It works very well, as a matter of fact. It has Schrader and Pista valves both built into it. And I put some tape around the handle so it wouldn't slide down and interfere with my pickup, magnetic pickup, the pause system. Just clips into the old water bottle hole here and neatly sits there, covers up. The holes are covered for mud getting in. At $3, can't go wrong. Another goodie. After going through some of the more demanding terrain, the roots and rocks, I decided it would be a wise thing to pick up a shocked seat post. It takes an initial shock out of your back, and it's well worth it.